Welcome, my 61 subscribers, everyone on Wrestling Reddit. And holy shit, did they just save all the good wrestling for Rampage? Because they just did. Welcome to my review of AEW Rampage. For the July 8th, 2022 show, let's begin. So the show opens with no entrances for Konosuke Takeshita and Eddie Kingston, and oh my god, this is automatically the best match of the entire week. They have a Japanese style match because we have like the former DDT champion and like Japanese wrestling weeaboo wannabe Eddie Kingston. So yeah, it felt like I was watching All Japan Pro Wrestling or Pro Wrestling Noah, where they start slow, they do some wrestling, they do a test of strength that goes on for a while, but I like it. We then get the setup for the story of the match, which is Eddie Kingston's back. He starts like selling this evidently, like clearly for Konosuke to see, so Konosuke goes for the back, but he doesn't go for submissions. This guy was looking to destroy Eddie Kingston's back, just like smash it in half. And then we get some strike battles, some machine gun chops, and these here, compared to the DDT show, make sense when they happen, and not just like out of nowhere, just to fill time. And yeah, we get a variety of moves, and not just like selling. Not just like people on the floor, we actually get to see the full arsenal of both these wrestlers. We do get some no-selling, but they make sense. Since Konosuke is tall, he's built, dude's fucking a star. So for me, he's allowed this. And there are like excuses I can make for the moments of no-selling that happen later. Because like it makes sense with what they do. So yeah, very good match. Let's get to the top 3 spots of the match. So number 3 is this strike battle that happens while both of them are kneeling. Konosuke starts it off, but Eddie starts like no-selling. He starts like fighting, spiriting, King's Roading, whatever. Then he comes back with his own slaps. They each get some good shots off. And then they transition this to standing position where Eddie Kingston plays possum in order to lure Konosuke into like a false sense of security. And then Eddie delivers like 3 neck chops. Awesome sequence. And so for number 2, it's the German suplex to the apron. But this isn't all. Like a whole sequence happens after this. So Konosuke German suplexes Eddie on the apron. They fall down, but Konosuke maintains waist control. And then he tries for another one, but Eddie pulls on the apron sheets. I think that's what you call them. So he manages to save himself, and then he counters it with a T-bone suplex to Konosuke to the floor. And so for the number 1 spot, it's the finish. Because this happens after spot number 3, Eddie Kingston goes for a half and half. Konosuke jumps right back up. He delivers a lariat. And then Eddie, popping back up, he goes for his finisher, the backhand, but it misses, and Eddie delivers this fast. Konosuke is agile enough to dodge this in real time. Konosuke hits Eddie with the forearm, throws him to the ropes, and then tries to go for the running knee. But then Eddie finally hits the backhand, which rattles the shit out of Takeshita. Takeshita then delivers like a weaker knee strike, which of course takes a lot out of Eddie, but Eddie manages to deliver one more backhand for the win. Eddie just falls on Konosuke. The commentators really addressed the no-selling here because Jim Ross asked, or was it Tony, I forgot, how Eddie is still standing after that knee. And my explanation for that is that Eddie already hit him with his finisher, so Konosuke was weakened when he did the knee, and then eventually after, Eddie sold by just falling on Konosuke and then managing to get the pin victory. So yeah, great match to start off Rampage. This is like the best match of the entire week. And yeah, awesome to see Eddie Kingston back. I think 100% now, because I don't think he'd be allowed to like do the apron spot if he wasn't cleared. So yeah. And then again, awesome to see Konosuke Takeshita. Hope he shows up in DDT since they need help. But yeah, nice match all the same. So after this, we get like a video promo by Athena and Kris Statlander. These two work very well for one woman who hasn't talked for like a long time while she was in AEW, and another who wasn't known as a good promo back where she last worked. That's probably why she was depushed. So yeah, they deliver a promo on Jade Cargill, calling her a coward because she has to surround herself with the baddies, and that she has to pick like jobbers to be her opponents. So their logic is they're gonna help Jade Cargill look for proper competition by challenging her for the TBS championship. So yeah, nice content of the promo, nice promo from these two. One of these women have to be the TBS champion next, and they're both better than Jade Cargill and all of the baddies combined. So yeah. So after this, we get like a video package where Alex Marvez talks over it, and it's about Hook. It's just a Hook hype-up video, nothing much. Alex Marvez does a good job because Hook isn't allowed to talk yet, so yeah. Pretty effective video package. Let's move on. Okay, so after this is the tag team match between Gates of Agony, Kon and Toa Leona. They're managed by Tully Blanchard and they're in a faction with Brian Cage. So yeah, it's their debut. Nice to see Brian Cage back, even though he wasn't on the show. He was in last week's Rampage though, in a video package. So I love how this match starts. Gates of Agony just attack Gresham and Moriarty, but Lee ends up being the legal man, and this goes on. He gets his ass kicked for the whole match, and the whole story ends up being Lee trying to tag in Gresham for like the whole match, while these two perfectly built monsters just like kick his ass. And I really like Gates of Agony. We have the more aerial and high-flying Kon, but not too much. We get a little of him, but we get a lot more of Toa. Toa, he's basically like Umaga, but like slimmer. He has the same moveset, and I think he even has the gear down. The only thing I don't like about this team is that their gear is not matching. Another dude is dressed like an ordinary wrestler, while the other one is dressed to the gimmick. So yeah, so Lee Moriarty gets beaten up for the whole match, about like 7 or so minutes. We even get like a very awkward commercial break where it just like flashes the logo of Rampage in the fight broadcast. So yeah, Lee gets beaten up for the whole match, but when he tries to reach for Gresham for the first time, Gresham is distracted by Tully Blanchard on the outside. He leaves the corner, leaving Lee open for attack again. And then like after the commercial break, Lee manages to like get Gates of Agony down. He manages to like win in a fight. He gets them out of the ring in like a desperation fashion. We even have like a shot where Toa is blocking his way towards Gresham, and it looks like Lee has to go through a final boss, but he does. He gets them both out of the ring, and then Lee crawls toward Gresham. But when he reaches for the tag, Gresham drops his hand, and he turns fucking heel. Great, amazing. People say AEW doesn't do storytelling, but this is it right here. So Gresham leaves, and then he hugs Tully Blanchard on the outside, and then Moriarty trying to win the match by himself. Like desperation mode the whole time remaining. It's a losing battle. He valiantly puts on a fight, but then Kon does his finisher, which is like knees to the ribs, like a knee drop to the ribs, and then Toa goes for the pin for the win. And so I think this is a great way to debut this new tag team without making Jonathan Gresham look weak. Because when I first looked at the match card, I couldn't believe that like they were gonna let Brian Cage's new teammates lose, even if they're facing against the Ring of Honor champion, and I didn't think the Ring of Honor champion was gonna lose. So yeah, I love this direction. Great job. As for the spots of the match, it's just the final tag. That was pretty much it. So yeah. So after this, we have a backstage promo by Eddie Kingston. Again, Eddie Kingston, the best promo in the company. He puts over Japanese wrestling. He puts over Konosuke Takeshita. He says, like, say hi to Akiyama for me. Like, one of Eddie Kingston's heroes, childhood heroes. And then he moves on to talking about Chris Jericho. He vows revenge. And he sets up the match for next week. Which I don't think they said what type of match it is. But yeah, it's a barbed wire death match, just like what they do in Japan where their ropes are made out of barbed wire. While the Jericho Appreciation Society will be suspended above the ring in a shark cage. I fucking really don't know how this is gonna work. This is like so fucking weird. Multiple people suspended above the ring in a shark cage. So we have Daddy Magic, Cool Hand Anch, Daniel Garcia, Jake Hager, Tay Conchi, and Sammy Guevara. That's a lot of people. So yeah. After this, we have a tag team match between the team of Serena Deeb and Ring of Honor Women's Champion Mercedes Martinez against two enhancement talent, Kayla Sparks and Christina Marie. So the dynamic here is pretty weird because the team of Serena Deeb and Mercedes Martinez, they hate the fuck out of each other. They aren't on the same page the entire match, but since they're facing jobbers, they dominate. Their dynamic here is a bit of one-upsmanship, but yeah, nothing out of the ordinary happens. The enhancement talent get absolutely zero offense off. They just showed up to be seen on TV and they get destroyed. The other one doesn't even get tagged in. She gets knocked off the corner as Serena Deeb single leg crabs the other one, like the blonder one with the more American outfit, and then gets the win by submission. So even throughout the end of the match, these two are not friends, they're not a team. So Serena Deeb attacks Mercedes Martinez. She locks her in a Serenity lock and then gets her to submit in an unofficial way. So yeah, this is heel versus anti-hero, I don't think. A tweener. I think Mercedes is a tweener, so yeah. We're gonna get this match at Death Before Dishonor. So after this, we get a backstage promo with Jonathan Gresham and Tully Blanchard with Tony Schiavone as the interviewer. And then people told me, or I've seen from posts and from videos that Jonathan Gresham lacks charisma, but I don't really see that being true because Jonathan Gresham talks in a very entertaining way. It's melodious when he talks. It's also intense and he knows where to enunciate the words. So yeah, really good promo by Jonathan Gresham. He's pretty charismatic to me. And as for Tully Blanchard, very nice to see him again in AEW. I'm glad that he's out of MJF's shadow, or he's out of the faction, out of the Pinnacle, and here doing his own thing. All we need now is Tessa, and everything will be complete. So after this, we have the pre-match interview by Mark Henry. It's like a triple screen. We all know what this is. It happens every Rampage before the main event. On one side, we have Tony Nese and Smart Mark Sterling. On the other side, we have Orange Cassidy and the Best Friends, Trent Beretta and Chuck Taylor. While in the middle, we have Mark Henry. They talk about the stipulation being Orange will sign if he loses to Tony Nese in the match. He's gonna sign the People Against Swerve Strickland act or something. Mark Sterling, good, funny promo as usual. And then on the other side, we have Danhausen talking for everyone. Orange doesn't give a shit about the whole thing. And Nese takes offense to this because this dude takes everything seriously. So yeah, we get a mini feud right here. And Danhausen, always very entertaining, will forever haunt Mark Sterling and Tony Nese. He has his Danhausen face paint attire and then just a suit and a tie put on very badly. So it looks like there's been enough talk. It's time for the main event. Okay, so after this weird placement, we have Matt Sydal and Lee Moriarty backstage doing a promo with Lexi. So Sydal does most of the talking. Moriarty just bookends it with I'm gonna beat you, something something. And yeah, Matt Sydal cut an intense promo, but there's this one part where he sort of forgets when the match is and then takes a pause. You can see it in the guy's face. He forgets, but then he remembers after a few seconds, Rampage. And then Lee Moriarty, this isn't really enough promo time to judge him, his promo skills, but from what I'm hearing right now, it's better than Dante Martin, who is another disciple of Matt Sydal. Because come on, Dante cuts a promo like a robot. I can see your faith in my potential, but on Rampage, I will defeat you. So yeah, so now for the main event itself. Tony Nese versus Orange Cassidy. And this might be the most entertaining main event of Rampage that we've had in a long time. Because I skipped Rampage a lot. For a couple of weeks. Maybe a month's worth? I forgot. And yeah, it doesn't disappoint. It's top two matches of the entire week. Up there with the Eddie Kingston versus Takeshita one. But after watching the match, I have to go with this one. Because not only is this a tense-filled match with a lot of variety when it came to their moves, also does stuff, like the usual stuff that Orange Cassidy does, that subverts expectations, and the characters here react in ways that only they would. And I'm gonna explain that later when I get to the spots of the match. Like, there are a lot of character building moments here, and the match manages to do this without utilizing any no-sells, just like with Kingston versus Takeshita. They didn't get up from finishers, like Fighting Spirit, which is like a very good tool to use in matches to make it mean more. These two guys managed to basically deliver like that level of intensity and drama without using any fighting spirit. So yeah, this was a back and forth sort of match. Orange Cassidy does his usual stuff, but he does so with difficulty. Because there's this like ongoing thing throughout the whole match where Nese manages to stop some like DDTs that I don't know what this specific DDT is called, but it's one where Orange like flows around Nese's body to do the DDT. Nese stops too, but on the second one, Orange manages to hit a Stun Dog Millionaire, but in the successive ones, Nese isn't able to stop it anymore. So yeah, for the thing where they subvert expectations, Orange does his like soft kicks on Mark Sterling, who's trying to like distract him. It's like with Dan Lambert. Sterling is on the apron, and so Cassidy does his soft kicks on him, but instead of like just no-selling it, just like making fun of Orange, like Sterling actually like sells this in order to like create a lawsuit. And then this actually works. I mean, the distraction here was successful because Nese managed to catch Orange in like a pile driver thing, like a pump handle driver, which got him the near fall and like a "this is awesome" chant. And shit, Tony Nese, someone who is low on the card wherever he goes, proved he could wrestle a main event style match like right here. They were slow, they managed to give the moves some time to breathe, and just like a lot of old heads say, everything registered in the match. And also the commentary here was on fire. Like JR, not known to like Orange Cassidy that much, but how much he praises Nese as well as considers a lot of Orange Cassidy stuff, like the way he puts stuff over. Like when they do a leg slap spot and then JR sells it like, how the hell do they make it pop like that? And yeah, this might be like JR's best night on commentary for a long time. And he outshined everybody. Even Caprice Coleman, who was amazing a while ago with the tag team match. So yeah, let's talk about the top 3 spots in the match. Okay, so top 3. I don't know if I could just like limit my choices to like 3. I'm gonna start off with some honorable mentions first. Okay, so first honorable mention, but it doesn't feel like an honorable mention, happens early on. It's when Orange snapmares Tony, and then they end up in this position where Tony's seated, Orange has his like arm around Tony's neck, and then he does his lazy thumbs up. This might be like shot of the entire show, but yeah, I might use this as the thumbnail. So another honorable mention is this like shoryuken by Tony Nese on Orange while Orange is like on the top turnbuckle. And then the last honorable mention is the ending, because how this ends is Tony Nese fails to deliver the running Nese while Orange is seated on the lowest turnbuckle. He hits his knee on the second turnbuckle, and then he sells it on the floor like for a really long time. And this gets Aubrey Edwards' attention. She goes to him, and then Mark Sterling enters from like the opposite side, looking to hit Orange with the clipboard, but then Danhausen takes the clipboard, tosses it out, and then we expect like a curse from him, but instead he goes for a low blow and then throws Mark Sterling out. So as Danhausen is exiting the ring, Tony's distracted, so he gets his eye off the ball. He goes to confront Danhausen, but then Danhausen curses him. This gets a loud reaction from the crowd, and then he's hit by Orange with the orange punch for the win. So yeah, I'll like consider this as number 4. There's just like 3 better ones than this. So for number 3, it's the whole like thing where Tony Nese stops Orange's DDT. The best one was the second one, but if you like pile all of this together as like a part of the match's story, this manages to make it to number 3. So Tony Nese blocks one, blocks another, but then is like hit with a Stun Dog Millionaire. He doesn't block the next 2, and then Orange goes for like one where he DDT's Nese while jumping from the top turnbuckle. And then for the number 2 spot in the match, it's when Orange misses his orange punch for the first time. So like Orange goes for the orange punch, Nese does like a back jump and then kips back up. He does this kicking combination, he German suplexes Orange. Then when Orange gets a near fall kick out, Nese like roundhouse kicks him in the face. This is very close to the top 1 spot of the match. And as for the top 1 spot of the match, it has to be where Sterling distracts Orange. Orange does his like soft kicks. Sterling reacts to this his own way, according to his character, to like force a lawsuit or something. It succeeds, and then Orange doesn't come out on top of this one because Nese manages to deliver like a pump handle driver. So yeah, that's all the spots in the match. This whole match was fucking great. It was a banger. It was, I think, equal to the match with Will Ospreay in Forbidden Door, given the amount of time that this one has compared to that. This one was a lot shorter, but it was packed with a lot of shit. So yeah, so for my match rating for this one, it's a TV main event, pay-per-view main event level match. It's that fucking good. You should go watch this right now. So yeah, overall, this was a fucking great Rampage. This was a whole lot better than Dynamite, in my opinion. I think there wasn't a Rampage this good all throughout since the one with Konosuke Takeshita against Jay Lethal. But I think this just like squeezes past that one, no pun intended. So yeah, really good Rampage. Go watch it. These are my match rankings. There are no ratings yet, but I'll try to make a ratings video as soon as that comes out. But I don't know, things are gonna get busy from here. So yeah, I really enjoyed making this review of Rampage. It went down a lot easier than Dynamite did. And yeah, I might go back to reviewing Rampage again the next time I have a chance. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, and subscribe for engagement. Share if you don't know me. Hit that bell notification for future videos. And please, watch my shit.